Hey guys, welcome. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Xander. Thank you, Mia and Roy. I'm just gonna start off by saying I've known Daniel since I was in preschool. We went to school together, and we've always been friends ever since. Daniel, how do you know Mia and Roy?
So Mia went to Jewish summer camp with me. Actually, I met her brother back in 2016 first. I met her brother. He was actually my colorware captain coach in camp, and he was always really nice to me. And when I heard his little sister was coming to camp, I always wanted to become friends with her. And we've always been friends since. So, yeah.
How long ago was that summer camp? When was that?
So actually, Mia came the last year of our camp, which was 2019, and we had an unforgettable summer. We created a relationship that will live for hopefully an eternity. But besides that, we've always hung out in Israel. She's always treated me very well, and if she comes to America, she'll see the same. But besides the fact, we are here to talk about your guys' experience in Israel.
It's been like a nightmare, I think. It's been hard. Like everyone knows someone that is missing
or dead
yeah,
or kidnapped.
yeah. So it's been so hard. Like we are doing a gap year in a kibbutz in the north of Israel, and right now we are at home. We don't have any activities. It's scary to go outside of home. I don't know. I'm very panicked of the situation.
So you're not even allowed to leave your place. You're not able to leave the place, right? Your house right now.
No, we are.
No, we can, but
if we have an alarm and we are like in the streets, so it's a bit dangerous. You won't like to be in the situation.
How did you guys like find out about like obviously like how did you what was your first like warning sign when they invaded?
It was on Saturday, last Saturday, 11 days ago. It was at 6:30, like I think, and we woke up in the like early morning. We didn't realize like what's going on. We didn't understand. Everything was normal and quiet in Gaza Strip at like the past few months. I think we didn't have any alarm or it was okay. And then we woke up and we were like, "What the fuck is going on?" Sorry.
No,
and
you're
then
good.
and then we saw like videos on Telegram of terrorists that broke the wall and came into Israel, and we said like, no, it's like a night, like it's a terror movie. It's not going on. It's not happening. There is no chance that this situation is real. And then I have a friend in my gap year. It calls Mechina, if you heard about it. So
it's 1 year before the army.
Yeah, that we go and volunteer and learn about our country.
And travel in the country.
Yeah, so we both do it. It's like not so common, but it's common. We have also Chulnikim, which is people from the United States and
Sweden, Canada, London.
England. Yeah. So it's like all over the world, Jewish people that wants to do tzava, like army, or if they don't, so they won't like force them. But I have a friend who lives in the same room as I do in my gap year, and she lives in Netiva Asara, which is like on the border. It's like 100 meters. I think it's, I don't know, in miles. But she was like stuck in her shelter for 30 and a half hours because terrorist was like in her town, in her moshav, and she couldn't leave the moshav, the mamad, the shelter, because people were murdered, 20 actually. So it's like crazy. She didn't have her phone. She didn't have any service. So yeah, that's crazy.
What's your like initial protocol when you hear those alarms go off?
Like, what do you mean about it? Like, say it in a lower language.
What is your first like instinct when you hear those alarms?
First, you just
panic.
Go to you panic, and then you go to the shelter.
we must.
Where are they located? Like, is there?
Okay, so in each and every house in Israel, you must have shelter because the situation is.
But
Yeah,
not in every house you have
but
shelter.
Like 90% of the houses,
No.
all the new ones must.
Do you go to like a
have.
neighbor's house?
No, so I have a shelter in my house, and Roy too.
This is the shelter.
We sit in it. If you can see, there is like a metal window, and the glass is like thicker, and then we have this thing which is an oxygen machine. If you have like a
smoke inside the room
or poison,
or
so we panic. I have panic attacks from the sirens and the alarms, so it's being hard for me. But like you panic, you like don't realize what's going on, and then you run to the shelter. Like my dad just told me that when people hear the siren, the alarm, they panic, and this is more dangerous. So it's really scary. You can hear it like really loud because everyone must hear it.
How is everything in Israel? Is everything shut down?
Kind of.
Not really.
Yeah, not really, here. But kind of. Yeah, we live in the center of Israel. We live next to Tel Aviv. If you know where is it?
So your streets are fine. Like there's no damage by you guys.
No,
not here.
And hopefully
not
we
in
stay
our
like that.
So Mia, you're very thankful. You're very like blessed to have an amazing boyfriend right now that looks over you and spends time with you. What would your situation look like if you, since your brother is not home right now, what would your situation look like as being by yourself alone during all of this?
It's scary, like I already said, but like I have kind of panic attacks from alarms and war and stuff. So I think if Roy wouldn't like be with me, it would be like really hard for me. I just cried today to my mom because the situation is like a nightmare, like a really bad one. Our neighborhood, we have two that was missing and then they found, so it's like messed up. I didn't think that something like that would happen. Not in this like count of bodies and of people who are injured. So yeah,
this is definitely so real and so it makes me open my eyes. What do you have to say to the people that don't believe in this? That there's a lot of misinformation and there's a lot of like false propaganda being spread. So what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, I feel like there's like a lot of sides, and there just shouldn't be any sides. I mean, it's pretty obvious that like our whole time Jewish people have been oppressed, and it's amazing how we keep on moving forward and how we all stay strong together. And I think it's really important how we're able to like find hope in like the darkest of times. I think that's something that Jewish people have always been able to do. So like, how are you guys feeling like morally? Like, how are you? Is there any hope? Is there good spirits over there? Or is it all just kind of dim?
All of our community here in our town and in all Israel is very committed to the soldiers and the people that had to leave their houses because they can't live there anymore. People donate a lot of money and go and volunteering in.
Roy too.
Yeah.
He like collected money, like donates, and donate it to soldiers and bought some stuff to help them.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw people handing like soldiers food, like as they're leaving to go attack or go help defend.
Yeah,
that's pretty inspiring.
I can say, yeah, we are really united. I think we can see that like everyone wants to help, and like everyone have like find his job. How can he help? And I can say that my brother is a soldier, and right now he already finished his soldier, like his career as a soldier, and then they called him, like drafted him to help.
It's called Miluim.
Yeah, he called Miluim.
Until the age of 40.
Yeah.
The army can ask you to come and serve your country as a soldier.
Yeah, like a draft. Yeah, exactly. Did you Did you ever serve?
No, not yet.
No.
We are doing a gap year before our army service, so like in
Next year.
in September or October we are going to be soldiers. Yeah,
August.
our friends are already soldiers. Like some of them.
Exactly. It's mandatory. Is that so? How do you guys feel about that? Is that something people look forward to, or not looking forward to? How's that?
Like think about you when you finish high school, so you expect to go to college. So we are expecting to go to army.
But exactly, is it exciting or not at all?
I think so. It's like a new part of your life. It's like a new beginning. You meet a lot of people from all over the country. You do like a job that helps your country, and
Are you excited for it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know what what I'm about to do.
I'm not.
He is not, but I might gonna be an instructor of simulation for pilots. It's like
Yeah.
teaching them how to fly, how to be a pilot, like
Yeah. My sister
activities.
did that too.
Yeah, his big sister. Or I might be in something called Modin, which is like collect information and yeah.
Wow, yeah. So like, obviously in America, it's not mandatory. So it's pretty humbling and inspiring to see like just high school kids coming out of high school to be ready to go. And dude, I think it's really good for. I think it should be mandatory, honestly, because I feel like it not only does it make you a stronger person, but it also gives you kind of a purpose to give back, which I think is very important. So that's very inspiring to hear from you guys.
So now we're going to switch into the controversial topic. Yes, this is their most controversial podcast they have ever done, but both Tanner and Xander are both proud to be Jewish and represent Israel. That's what they've told me. And how do you view the Palestinian war? Like, how do you guys see the war? Do you guys see that it's Israel against Palestine, or do you see it's Israel against Hamas?
Israel
I
against
think,
Hamas.
yeah.
Yeah.
There are many civilians in Palestine that don't want it.
Yeah.
Like they hate Hamas. They think that they ruined the country. It's not a country, but
Yeah, it's like the
their
size
area.
of Israel. Danny, you have been in Israel, so it's like a city in Israel, which is really small because, like,
No, it's a big city.
yeah,
very big
but
city.
like think about
But
it.
compared
that-
to like the whole thing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Miami, I think like Miami is bigger than
Very.
Gaza. Like, yeah, but I have to mention that our like my father, when he was a child, he went to the supermarket in Gaza to do shopping. So before Hamas like took over, like controlled Gaza, it was like Palestinian near Israelis, and it was like fine.
were they able to come over the border?
Yeah, there were no borders, and then
Many years ago.
yeah. And then they separated Gaza from Israel because Hamas took over, yeah, and then the things got uglier.
But see, that's the problem. Like, I feel like that was a lot of people say, "Oh, we like trapped them," but at the same time, we were just protecting ourselves because we knew that exactly that Hamas took over. So it would be stupid not to protect yourselves. Like, what would you do in that situation? You'd protect yourself.
I'll tell you what. Egypt didn't want to take the Palestine to their country. Nobody in the Middle East wanted the Palestinians. So we needed to understand how we handle it.
Mhm.
And when things got a little bit heated, we had to build a wall and separate them from our society because it was dangerous.
I have something to say that they educated by Hamas. They educated to hate Jews. Like I'm sure that there are Palestinians that are really like kind and good, and they want the best for them and for us. But if you are educated to do something from we're born, so like there's no chance that you'll love Jews if you educated to hate them since you're like
A baby, yeah, exactly. They don't know any different, so they're getting brainwashed.
And there are 150,000 Palestinians that each and every day cross the border and come to work in Israel. And we
because they can't
them,
work there.
And we supply them water and electricity and gas.
Yeah, don't we help them? I've seen videos. The people that come over, don't we feed them and help them?
Yeah.
But if we were to go over there, they'd just kill us.
What?
Like if we went into Gaza, they would have no remorse. But if someone like were to come to Israel, like would we help them?
No, they are not allowed to cross the border. Like if I'm Palestinian and then I'm coming to the border and I can cross it. Just if I have like a visa that I'm working in Israel, so I can cross the border and they can work and eat and do stuff. Not sleep.
They need to come back and in the morning
come back again.
How do they know if they come back or not? Like what if they never come back? Do they look for them?
So this is like a thing
from Israel?
Yeah, this is like a suspect of a terror attack.
Oh, they would suspect them.
Yeah, but they are like it's a big there is a big security and it's a process that you need to do and
it's very hard to get permission to work in Israel.
So when you hear the word apartheid state, what do you think of? Like when people call Israel an apartheid state, that means that it's basically segregated.
Yeah, like he's basically asking if they were completely blocked off is what he's asking. Like were they separate?
A bit, because we need to be careful.
Like the past can't let us let them do whatever they want. Like just
and be
1
free
year ago
to
at the main street in Tel Aviv, called one of the main streets in Tel Aviv, and there were several terror attacks that
shooting
at people just like crossing the road.
Yeah, no, exactly.
If the past showed us that we can trust them and everything can be fine, and
then it would be different story.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
We won't build a wall.
That's the problem.
Things would be the same as they were 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I think that I've always believed that every country has like the right to protect themselves, and we were definitely in danger, and here's proof of it that we were always in danger because it ended up even our protection wasn't even good enough, and there's the evidence for it. So it's fun. It's not funny, but it's interesting when people are saying, "Oh, we separated ourselves from Gaza, we left them," but no, like we had every right to protect our state, and Israel only has one homeland. Like the Jewish people have belong to one place, and there's like they have way more.
I saw a post on Instagram that says each and every country has its own to protect himself except Israel. Like if we protect ourselves, our country, so everyone says that we are terrorists and we are murdering Palestine for no reason. But like, look at this war. Okay, I know that like the IDF did some attacks to like against Hamas because they started the war, and we have more than 1,300 of people who died, who killed, who were murdered. So we doesn't have our like right to protect ourselves because like the whole world are like saying that we are murderers and we are I don't know, but like we like from their side, like we don't have this right.
They would never understand. They can never.
No.
We're privileged. Yeah, you can't see it from your side. They're naive.
Yeah.
So I had a little complication at school. I was trying to do a fundraiser as a simple dress up day. At my school, everyone pays $3 to a credible charity during dress up days. And I wanted an impromptu dress down day to wear whatever you want in support to the IDF. We asked for different organizations like the Magan David, and they told me we don't, they always tried to delay it. They said, oh, you can't have like you need to plan their dress up days. So then I saw last year there was a earthquake in Turkey, and they did a dress down day the next day to raise money for the Turks. And it shows like whenever the Jews have a problem or something, we're always silenced.
Do you think it's just because the Jews are having a problem that's why they're silent?
We've been opposed, or everybody's been learned to hate the Jews. Oh, this, that. I mean, I saw, it was disgusting. I saw a lot of people at my school. I wouldn't say I was friends with them, but I knew, like, I followed them on Instagram, and a lot of people were saying like free Palestine. Not a lot, but majority of people were standing with Israel for sure. But it was just scary to see that, like, I had connections to people who, I mean, literally supported terrorists. I mean, it was scary.
I don't get what the Free Palestine means if they're the ones who are the terrorists.
Basically what they're trying to say, well, Hamas is the terrorist, but basically what they're trying to say is that we the Israel kind of made Palestine like a prison, like kind of separated themselves, but we only did that just because they were trying to kill us. And we're not they, I mean, I don't want to be so Hamas, and look what happened. We were right. We were literally right. They did kill us. So
Like Free Palestine means that like
It's a
before
trendy thing.
what?
It's a trend.
No,
Like people that don't understand
yeah,
say Free Palestine because the people they know say it because they don't know also.
yeah, but like
They don't know the
Palestine-
facts.
Palestine is a name from Bible, but it's like an area that concludes Israel in it. It was
Israel
formed.
founder.
Yeah, it was founded. So like a lot of Arabs, as you know, lived here, lived in this whole area, and then they told us, like they
So
say that we are we like took their land, and it's not Israel, it's Palestine. But as I said at the beginning, we lived together, like it was fine.
So what happened? What was the big thing that
after the Holocaust, a lot of people, Jewish people, needed a place to live, a safe place to live, and Israel is the place. Like
From the Bible,
since the Bible, it was our land.
yeah.
our holy land. Yep.
And we developed an amazing nation. They're saying from the river to the sea. They don't want peace. They want the whole country. They're greedy. I'm going to say something crazy right here, but there's no such thing as Palestinian people. Before 1948, there were Jews, Christian, and Arabs living in the British Mandate of Palestine. And before that, it was the Ottoman Empire, right? My great-grandparents, my grandparents have a Palestinian passport. That doesn't mean that I'm Palestinian, you know? They created their own ethnicity, and we built a culture. And and what they're doing right now, after the Holocaust, the Jews didn't go back to Nazi Germany and knock on the fucking houses of the Germans and say, "Give me my house back. I used to live there." No, they went to Holy Land where they felt safe. Biblically, there were Jewish people there. They built an amazing nation, a sovereign nation, for the only democracy in the Middle East. And it's crazy how the left and the liberal, like, it doesn't matter who you are, but if you're more progressive and you're more accepting, how could you accept terrorism? That's my question. How could you accept terrorism? But I was trying to pull up a photo of my grandpa's Palestinian passport. It says British Mandate of Palestine. It's right here. If all of you guys want to see.
So what does he say? Have you spoken to him about it?
Yeah. So I was listening to Gold in my ear. She was what prime minister? The first prime minister of Israel.
Yeah,
And she was during the war of
50
Yom Kippur.
years ago.
Yom Kippur, if you know what it means, it's like a
Yom Kippur. It was exactly 15 years ago.
it was at 73,
73.
1973.
And the same thing happened.
There was
The government.
misinformation. They were warned about it. They didn't listen, and that's what happened here. But like this time, we didn't have like a lot of information that we
did.
we
We still don't know how much information we had this year, but I think we had.
So living in America, social media has stressed me out so much. Have you felt like deleting Instagram from like seeing what people have posted, or like how do you feel about social media in this war?
like I don't have any news apps in my phone because I'm too scared to see like that there are alerts in the southern area, like Gaza Strip or something, and it's like far from my house. Like I'm afraid of it. And at the first day of the war, my sister, my big sister, used to have a telegram, and she saw like bodies of soldiers and
Videos of Jewish girls,
Israeli girls, like,
Israeli girls getting raped,
yeah,
and
their bodies, they are already dead.
terrible videos.
Like,
Terrible.
They came into kibbutzim and shoot cows and
dogs
and cats and like innocent animals
and children,
and
small
elderlies.
children.
It's like terrible. And she saw that, and then at the same day, her boyfriend was drafted, and she started crying because she saw the videos and pictures, and then she decided to delete it because it's like doing a scar in her soul, and yeah, it's like we avoid watching social media
because in Telegram you can post every video and every photos without
like
It's not censored. It's not censored.
Yeah, and I just like watch and like see over social media just like explaining videos. You know what I'm saying? Like of explanation of Israel, things like that. I don't want to see any videos or pictures.
No.
It's like terrible.
It's too hard.
And if I can, like, if I watch the news with my parents and I hear like a story of a girl that I don't know something happened to her family, her boyfriend. So or like someone who lives in Gaza Strip or that something happened to him. So like it's doing me like I want to cry.
Yeah, no, you have every right to feel that way. Yeah,
I totally
of course.
understand.
I think also, I'm not sure. Do you guys remember the movement Black Lives Matter in America?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that's something that frustrated me a lot. That's just I don't understand. But Black Lives Matter has been supporting Palestine throughout this whole thing, pretty publicly, and I just find it completely like contradicting. I mean, a lot of like white people, obviously, of course, supported Black Lives Matter when it all happened, and now they're basically the whole thing was like not to oppress people, and now they're oppressed. Now they're supporting the oppression of Jews. It just doesn't make any sense. That's something that's been going on here. It's not that as important what's going on over there, but I think that's a pretty big voice for a lot of people. Like a lot of people look at that organization, and when they see that, they kind of it's like propaganda. You kind of don't know what to support. So I think that's also another factor like that needs to happen. Like the silence of big celebrities and the silence of people that have a voice. They need to speak up.
So, what is one message you should say to all your friends and family and everyone that we know in America that they should know?
I think you need to fight for the innocent of Israel. And,
do you feel the support? Do you feel supported from?
Of course. Yeah, and I feel from Danny, like you're the best. But like my friends from camp are all, like writing me every day, like checking in with me and like lovely and like making me feel safer when I see this support. And I know that many of people like from the US, my mom's friends or family that I have, like donating money like to Magen David Adom, which is like the ambulance and the all medical treatment, or the IDF, which protects me, so I can feel safer.
I'm very grateful.
My family on Thursday is having a fundraiser, and I think already 50 people are coming to my house. Tanner, your family's invited, and we're all raising money to.
Oh my God, thank you.
Mia and Roy, I have a question for you guys. For the people who are going to watch this podcast, how can they help? Like, what can they do?
Asking in, like checking in.
The facts.
What?
Yeah, checking in the facts.
No, like checking with us and like checking the facts before like you go and shout free Israel or free Palestine, like for both sides.
Without knowing what's really happening.
Yeah, so check the information. Don't say anything that like you don't have any base for it, or like you don't know what you're talking about. As you can see, like Danny did like a research. He came with information, and so do us. So if you have like any questions, go and check us if you want, or like with Google. Don't go and say things that you don't know the source of them, and like show support. If you really believe in yourself that like Israel is right or Palestine is right, so show your side. Like be with us or or with them. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think Roy said it really well. It's kind of feels like a trend to say people don't know what's going on. They're just people are posting. Some people are posting free Palestine. Some people are posting stand with Israel. It just feels like a trend. Like, but it's not. It's terrorism.
Zionism has been like a movement and an ideology way before 1948. Someone named Theodor Herzl, he grew up in, I think, Russia. He was a Jew. He had this movement to have the Holy Land of Israel back to the Jews before World War II, before World War One. The Jews were always oppressed. We were always the minority, which we still are today. And despite all of that, after the World War II, we signed some stuff with the United Nations. The British promised the Jewish Holy Land, and Israel was established. And ever since, people are saying that we kicked innocent civilians out of people's houses and all this stuff. But if you look at it like this, the Jews have always overcome through terrible situations, right? We've always succeeded. And my question is, do the Jews we still remember and we never forget, which is super important, but we always strive to do our best. Know that I already said it once. After the Holocaust, my great grandparents were living in a refugee camp in Cyprus until they had a land to call home. They had no, I don't even know how to explain it, but
No, yeah, and we always stick together. That's like another thing. We always stick together. Jews always stick together, which I think is really powerful.
and you look at it like this, like the Hatikva, what does it mean, Hatikva in English? Doesn't it mean hope?
Yeah,
No,
it's the
hope.
hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the Jewish national anthem, the Israel national anthem. It means hope. And I think one of my friends, Andrew Panster, he asked me, what does it mean to be Jewish? Or what Jewish values do you think all Jews like have, kind of? And I say hope and having a family.
I would like to say one more thing. The difference between Israel and Palestine is that in Palestine, children educated to hate Jewish people. They educated to hold the gun, and ever since they are young, they are told that if they're going and get killed during a terror attack, they're gonna die, shahidim, and they die and go to heaven, and they're in heaven. There are 72 virgin that are waiting for them. Like it's messed up, you know. Children need to have their childhood.
The difference between Israel and Palestine is Israel, we care about our lives. We're not we're willing.
No, I'm
Like
sure,
every state in the world.
I'm sure that they care about their lives.
They're happy to die in the name of Allah. They're martyrs.
Not all of them.
Yeah,
not all of them. It's very important to say.
Yeah, like as we said, Hamas is taking control of Palestine, but in Palestine there are Palestinians that
support Israel.
No,
and
I don't. Yeah,
there is a lot of Palestinian people that support Israel
Hamas.
And love Israel and hate what Hamas doing there. But they're also the Hamas people.
Yeah.
I believe this war isn't a war on Israel and Palestine. This war is calling for the destruction of Jews, and you always have to be proud to be Jewish.
I have a question to you.
What's up?
How do you feel as Jews in the USA?
Yeah.
Like in these days?
I've never been more proud to be Jewish and just in the USA, but it's also scary because I see some people that I'm acquaintances with, mutuals with on Instagram, this and that, and they're posting crazy stuff crazy stuff.
I'm with Xander. I see people who are posting stuff who have no clue like what they're talking about. Like they don't know the facts. They're just going on with the trend, like what you said.
A lot of UFC fighters, Tanner.
And as being Jewish, the worst thing that is happening to us is we're being silenced. So it is our job to post on Instagram, and it is our job to not be silenced. That's why everyone's been swiping up on my story. Oh, you're posting this for clout, all this stuff. It's not for fucking clout. This is for my people, and this is what I believe. So all you guys that don't like Israel, you guys should not like me.
And that's so important, like to post things and to raise the awareness, like of Israel, the Israeli side, and that's so important.
Is there anything else you guys want to say like before we wrap it up?
I don't think that anyone supported Al Qaeda 9/11.
Or ISIS.
Yeah, it's the same shit. Exactly. It's the same thing.
Why people support Hamas? It's the same thing.
I'll tell you why. Because they've been taught to hate Jews. That is why. The people in this world have been taught to hate Jews, and it comes from education, it comes from the parents, and it's been happening for generations.
And it comes from the radical right to the liberal left, you know?
Yeah, no, we have to stand up for ourselves, and we have to stand with this, and we have to tell the truth, and we have to defend ourselves, because it's going to go on for, I mean, this is not going to be the end of it.
And I have something to say. I just posted on my Instagram, on my story, a post that says, how does raping a woman free Palestine? Like, people say free Palestine, okay, but like, how does raping a woman, it's
Jewish
free,
woman.
yeah, it's free Palestine? Or how does slaughtering baby is free Palestine? Or shooting dogs? Or beheading bodies? Or kidnapping teenagers? Crazy. People went to dance on a festival and just got shot.
5,000 people
Like shot.
got shot.
No, not 5,000. But
No.
like, yeah,
200 got killed. 200 that we know about,
yeah.
and some of them are still missing.
I have someone that I know that went to work to be a bartender. How do you say? Yeah.
Bartender.
And she tried to escape at the first alarm that they had, and she got killed
She was missing for
Yeah.
4 days, 5,
for 8 days.
8 days.
Yeah.
Her
They-
family didn't know if she's killed
Kidnapped.
or kidnapped. And after more than a week, they found her body.
And she has a sister in our age. She's
In our
18.
school.
Yeah. And another one that is at the sixth grade. And I know her mother. She was my like sport teacher, my sport instructor at school, at elementary. So I know her really well, and her family. And another from our for our age group, from high school, her father was missing. He went to the beach, and then like he was missing, and then they found his body yesterday.
The thing I find so beautiful about Israel is no matter who you are welcomed in Israel. Like if you're legally in the country. For me, I wouldn't see myself at a pride parade in America. I just don't know why. But in Israel, in 2022, I went to the pride parade. Mia, I hung out with Mia after. Or did you come with? Did you come with?
No, I couldn't.
No, you could. Okay, but no matter who you were, if you were gay, if you were Jewish, if you were Arab, if you were Christian, if you were straight like me, every single person went. But it wasn't to like celebrate being gay. It was to celebrate the freedom of being a human being in living in a democracy and actually being who you can be, which I think is so beautiful. And you look at it right now. Iggy Azalea went, right? She was one of the featured artists, and there were all these different artists. But now I see right now they're not sticking up for the people that they were sticking up for in democracy and freedom 2 years ago. Why aren't they sticking up now? Crazy situation, and this is my first ever podcast, and it's probably my last because I'm not the best speaker. But
No,
I would
you
like.
speak
I would,
amazing.
No, you're really
Yeah,
good.
really
Incredible.
As an Israeli, like you speak amazing, Danny. Like
Yeah.
really, it's exciting to hear you.
It's so impressive. Mia, if you didn't know, she's trilingual. She speaks English, Spanish, and Hebrew. And Roy speaks English and Hebrew. Do you speak another language?
No,
But still, learn just English. Like for me, is really hard. I can't imagine knowing 3 languages or 2 languages.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Very impressive. And I would like to say thank you to Tanner and Xander for having me on this podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much. Like,
Thank
Danny,
you very
thank you.
much.
And Tanner Xander, thank you so much.
Yeah, we love you guys. We're here with you guys.
And I would like to say like the biggest thank you. And I wish I could give you guys a hug. And I'm praying for your people, for Israel every single day. I'd like to say thank you to Mia and Roy because they are the best. They're fighting through this. And not only emotionally, physically, and mentally, they're doing it on social media. They're educating people and they're talking to me. You know how hard it is when you're getting an alarm and then replying back to me? That is amazing. That shows like how much you care for other people and how good of people you guys are. So I'd like to say thank you to you guys also.
Thank
And
you.
also how much we're very used to it in the past days.
Yeah. Like yesterday we had 4 alarms and now we had 3 in 1 hour. And then we couldn't, like, Danny wrote me, like, are you free to do the podcast? And then I wrote him, no, we just have like a big boom because there
Very
were
big
like
one.
alarms. We heard it, like it was quiet. It wasn't in our zone. It was like a neighborhood next to us. But we heard like a crazy boom of a rocket. So we couldn't, yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. It really means a lot. I learned a lot from you guys. Thank you.
My mission is hopefully the whole world is educated about this. And fuck Hamas. Hamas is ISIS. Fuck you, Hamas. That's all I have to say.
All right, we're going to end it right there. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Yay.